limits, conditions and tastes. That means no labeling. Then alone you will have the fullest vision and realization of your immortal root. Only something can come out, I am there, solid. So I must have come from somewhere. So the inquiry at the outer level will not help us. The path to the source of your and the world's being is not without, not outside. You have to go within yourself. Session we had in the Bhajan hall, we used to read now 5 minutes words of wisdom of Papa, and we were today prompted to read a few lines from Glimpses of Divine Vision on chanting. There he says the vocal chant lead us to mental chanting. At intervals during the periods of mental repetition of Ramnam, thoughts of the great attributes of God as the all-pervading, infinite, changeless, formless, eternal truth, and also as the universal manifestation must be dwelt upon by the mind. Know in the first place that the Supreme Reality is within your own heart and that you and He are one. By concentrating your mind, by making all thoughts converge up to one point, revert your gaze within. Therein lies the splendor of your soul, which animates all your thoughts. This splendor is the divine consciousness within you. Then you behold the immortal root of your existence and of the world, from which your mind and all manifestation derive their light and movement. In short, to turn your gaze within and see your own eternal self is to see God. So here he mentions about the root. Then you behold the immortal root of your existence. By concentrating your mind, by making all thoughts converge up to one point, revert your gaze within. Repetition of Ram Nam simultaneously with meditation on the great ideal is perfectly right, but the remembrance must flow in the mind without break, like the stream of oil poured from one vessel into another. This must continue until you lose yourself entirely in the infinite reality, rising above the body consciousness, feel one with all lives and existence. Constantly reading this might help us to some extent. During meditation, repeat mentally the Ram Nam. You have to bring up with glorious attributes. After some practice, let even the repetition of the mantra stop, and that the mind may be perfectly still without any waves of thought rising in it. Thus be self-absorbed for some time. By concentrating your mind on the sound of the name, the mind absorbs the name, and thereafter mental repetition starts. This mental practice at a certain stage ceases, bringing on inner stillness and peace. Meditation on the great attributes should go on side by side. So the immortal route, when we go in search, first thing is we should have to turn inward. To turn inward, the mind will always have the tendency to go out. So we try to practice this mental chanting and try to hear our own chanting, by which the tendency of the mind to go out might become slowly reduced. And then when it has been fully conquered, then let us see for ourselves what the experience is. So when the mind becomes active, again we take to mental chanting. This will help us to go to the root. Two, three things Papa is reminding us that the purpose of chanting, how to make it more effective. So when I am chanting the name, and if I develop, I should please take me to the root, where from everything has sprung forth. Mysteriously the guidance will come within to go in search of the truth. This is the fundamental thing. We have to apply our mind, the root of our existence. We are existing only because of the root, and we hardly give attention to the root. In a tree, if the root is cut, the tree falls or the plant falls. Similarly, we cut the roots, we don't exist. So what is that root? And how to go within? This is something which each one has to think and devise something suitable to our innate tendencies. Root. This immortal root is also the root of all that exists, the visible as well as the invisible worlds. When the source is known and seen, we understand the true meaning of this life. Bereft of all this knowledge, mankind is caught in the wilderness of discontent, hate, and misery. The realization of immortal peace and freedom is at once individual and universal, because the freedom of the individual makes for the freedom of the universal. Life's values, therefore, are not to be set by mere external rules and regulations, conditions and circumstances, but by an all-comprehensive knowledge of the great power which lies at its action. What one should do or should not do is not what a true spiritual life dictates. It is from what vision and from what knowledge the life is regulated that matters. So the first and foremost thing for everyone to do is to find out the immortal root of this being and look upon the external life from the consciousness of the root. I think a few days back we shared one, but we will repeat it for the sake of newcomers also. In tea estates, the Britishers have left a legacy, professional management. So the vast areas, 20,000, 30,000 acres. So the entire thing, there is a hierarchy, and the manager of a particular branch or a group section, he has to give well in advance. We were told, all these things were told to us well in advance, I think 1 year or 2 years, what he wants from the head office in terms of fertilizer, sprinkler, money, so whatever, all requisites. And he also gives an estimate of the crop. And the company provides everything, whatever is asked. So the manager is accountable, he has to give back the produce. It can vary from unknown reasons, the production might come down. So they also appoint a visiting agent, His job is only whenever the manager or somebody contacts, he has to go and visit and then suggest. So in one estate in Wayanad, when we were in Wayanad, one person shared this with us in a tea estate. In spite of every input, still the output, was not coming up. So he was very much disturbed. So then he informed this visiting agent, and the visiting agent casually, he was going from this section, estates are divided into so many parts, depending upon the terrain. So he was casually walking. And then the manager or somebody who is in charge said, this particular portion, they have got graph, so they know area-wise production. So this is not coming up though. When he went there, then suddenly he asked one of the workers to dig out from the root something. And then it was revealed that the root had got infected. He took this thing and then showed. You are doing it outwardly only, you have not gone to the root. And the problem is on the root. However much he does it on the outer level, sprinkling, fertilizer, so many things, cultural operations, different things. It will not, because it has affected the root. So the visiting agent, out of his experience, he can just casually, he is paid quite a good amount, but hardly has one visit or two visit in a branch. That too when the problem comes, but he is still paid. So at that time we were not able to understand the importance of this. Now when we go through these papas on route, We try to understand. So whenever there is a problem, we may try to solve it at the superficial level, and if it does not, we have to go to the root. This is what we do, even the hospital when we go, when they say the patient is not responding, they refer to a higher super specialty hospitals where nowadays facilities are available for deeper investigations. That means they are trying to go to the root of our disease. All of the rest of the things, it will not help. Please think about it. So this is for physical ailments. Now we know that the modern equipments they have brought out various tests by which we know what exactly is wrong with us. There also it can go wrong, but by and large it is accepted. Similarly, life's problems, when we start dealing, that the mind is not cooperating or mind is going on along with its own preconceived notions and experience, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the root of our existence. This is what Papa. So the first and foremost thing for everyone to do is to find out the immortal root of this being and look upon the external life from the consciousness of that root. Then life will adjust itself more harmoniously with the lives of all beings and creatures in the world. Even in external clashes, there will ring out the music of subtle universal harmony. Therefore, seek the truth within yourself. Stop not until you have reached it, until you have attained to the full knowledge of it, until you have made it one permanent basis of your life's activities. Know the source and be free. See, Papa has done the investigation on every topic. His realization is linked to all these, not merely one particular discipline, as we all thought. Reflecting on deeper, subtler. Only when he says about root, we start thinking about our root. Even now, we may not be clear about our root. Because we start from our mind-intellect equipment, Body, mind, intellect equipment is the starting point for all of us. We hardly think about the root of this BMI. So Papa is slowly directing our attention to that. If we are to be earnest in our spiritual journey, he points out all these things. He must have done it, otherwise how will it come out? The supreme divine principle at the root of the universal manifestation is one. From this eternal source have sprung all creatures, beings and things. Again, from this source alone have emanated the varied forces that produce kaleidoscopic changes in the phenomena of nature. The creative and destructive forces alike issue from the great origin. In fact, they are the two aspects of the same power, seen from different angles. Today morning when we were having our breakfast, watermelon a few pieces were also given. So in that the seed was there. So it made us to think about it. In that seed lies the creative power. Suppose we plant it in a conducive atmosphere, the seed sprouts. So we know there is a creative power in it. But suppose we break the seed, will we be able to see that? In front of our hall there is a coconut tree. So when this hall was set up in 2000, at that time we had raised this seedling from the seed coconut. Seedling. with the seed coconut. That was planted here. Now you see it has become a huge tree, big tree. So the creative power in that seed coconut which sprouted as the seedling, Suppose we take this coconut from this, it has started producing coconut. And suppose we start looking at it, breaking it, will we be able to see the creative power? Everybody is keeping quiet. Will we be? Now think how Papa is driving us to the main point. So similarly in our body, mind, intellect, that is the creative part of it. Okay? And that is the expressed form of it, That which motivates all this is that power. When this is yesterday revered and dear Sri Krishna ji dropped the body by 3:30 or 4:30 I think it was offered for the cremation. No more it is there, So as soon as the life force ebbed away, then the body becomes lifeless. So when we are now having the life force, suppose we break our body, God forbid, nobody should do that. Will we be able to see the force? Think about it. So how mysterious is this root? We are sitting, all these things are possible because the root is there. But the root, can it be seen with all these? Think about it. Think about it. From head to foot, from the crown of the head to the tip of the toe,
Any time limit for it? Is there any time limit for the soul that has escaped from the body to have its soul entrance into another body?
Is there any time limit for the soul?
Time limit for the?
For the soul to go from one body to another body.
We are yet to experience, So whatever is available, we will know. Whatever is perceived, what can be perceived, what can be understood. Let us try now. Because when the body gets dropped, whatever we know, it is a theory for us,
Yes.
But in the Shastra, so many things are there. Okay, let it be there. Now we are, before the life force goes away from this body, can we do something to know the power? That is the question before us. Can we define that power? Can we localize that power anywhere from the head? So here again we will read, you must begin with yourself from the crown of your head to the top of your tip of your toes. You already love yourself, is it not? Even though the hand is not the leg is not the toe is not the finger is not the nose. And the nose is not the ear. Each part is different in shape, name, function. What the eyes can do, the ears cannot. What the nose can do, the tongue cannot. The hands perform function, the legs never can. Within me, so many different shapes, forms, purposes exist. Yet, am I not the single one being from the tip of the toes to the crown of the head? How do we feel this oneness? Despite the distinctions, hand, leg, thumb, nose, we still say, this is me, I pervade every cell of my body. So when Papa wants us to go to the root, easy way is now to think about all these things. When the body is offered to the fire, electric crematorium or our usual traditional, what do you call that, cremation process. Then it is clear that it doesn't mean that when the body is there, the life is there. No. The life goes and the body stays and it starts decaying, immediately we dispose it off. However close, however dear, however revered that body may be. So the presiding deity is that life force, the root. Have we applied our mind on this vital aspect? Huh? Huh?
Mind is permanent, she says. Mind is permanent.
Mind is permanent. Oh, we don't know. But see, we can only think about up to our quitting the body, okay? After quitting the body, somebody says something, we believe, that's all. At the moment, our sadhana is to find out whatever is available and perceivable and experienceable, if there is a word. With that, we try. We know that yesterday when Sri Krishna ji dropped the body, nothing was there, nobody was to say. We have only words of wisdom by Mahatmas or Shastras. Let it be there. There is no use of now thinking about that. Now we have to think about the present state. We have a body, mind, intellect. We know that when the power goes, immediately in 24 hours, nowadays nobody waits for 24 hours also. Immediately it is consigned to flames. So now we are thinking, what is it that has dropped this body? We are trying to understand that. No? Let not the mind take us away from this. What is that power called life force? We say it's only a word, That's called a life force. Now when I pinch, I get pain. But when the body drops, whatever you do, you are putting slight matchstick, I will not be able to tolerate. But the same thing is now on a pyre. My body is kept on the pyre and I will not do anything. Just imagine, what is that? This is the fundamental thing to which Papa is now directing our attention. Root. That is why in the first article he said, the path to the source of your and the world's being is not outside, without. You have to go within yourself. You must go past your senses, mind, intellect. You must traverse beyond all your ideas and ideals. You must transcend all limits, conditions, tastes. Then alone you will have the fullest vision and realization of your immortal root. This immortal root is also the root of all that exists. So we are chanting the name of that root. And Papa has defined for us, not that we can understand by hearing that word, subtle and mysterious power. This is the word he uses. Subtle and mysterious power. He has named it as Ram. In his first book, In Quest of God, before the first chapter starts, he explains who Ram is. And he has said Ram is the subtle and mysterious power that is behind all creations and sustains the creation. So now we are looking at our inside and then finding out where from You pinch any part of your body, you feel that, What is that? We cannot get an answer from outside. While reading this, we know that Papa was able to get the answer by going within. So we also have to go within and get the answer. And if we get that answer, we have got everything. And to move toward that, we have to remember. That is why we are chanting.
Swamiji, please, I am a big Vardhya.
He's saying it in Tamil.
Huh?
He's saying something in Tamil.
What is that?
If you think yourself,
Then
the answer comes as I am.
then I am.
And which is power tells that I am.
Which is the power which tells I am.
But okay. What is that I am?
I am still, my life is there in my body.
Huh?
I'm still in my body.
Who is that?
So he said, I am still the life.
Again we have to go. You are right. That is how it comes. Thought is giving us these directions. But again you are asking, where from this I am coming? What is that I am?
From within.
From within.
From within only. What is that? We cannot answer. We need not try to bring it out in the form of any words. But we have to pursue. The path to the source of your and the world's being is not without. Without means outside. You have to go within yourself. You must go past your senses, mind and intellect. You must traverse beyond all your ideas and ideals. You must transcend all limits, conditioned tastes, and then alone you will have the fullest vision and realization of your immortal root. This immortal root is also the root of all that exists, the visible and the invisible worlds, and all beings and creatures in them. So this is not a thing which can be answered. There is no interactive session on this. This is something which we have to go within. No lecture can give.
Experience.
Huh?
Experience.
Only experience. This should be the cumulative result of our all outer disciplines. If we are not going anywhere near that, all our outer disciplines may not be of much help. That we have seen now, Most of us are doing a lot of going through disciplines.
Inward journey.
Huh?
Inward journey.
Huh?
Inward journey.
Huh? Inward journey.
Inward journey. All are deaf.
Swamiji, actually from the laptop it's better, more clarity than from there.
It's all right. So inward journey is a must. When inward journey is there, no talk, I think from 3:30 to 4:30 we can have for 10 minutes and then skip. Let us try go inward. The problem is the moment you stop talking or seeing, hearing, mind goes elsewhere. So at least when we talk about this, it will be somewhere, wandering through these thoughts at least. It might help at a particular moment when the mind is so ripe and so matured and so fit enough to take to inward journey. These, what we are now sowing in the mind, it might help. Otherwise it becomes knowledge. We can quote in lectures, that's all. Because Papa is going to the fundamentals, We should know that. Not merely chanting. So all these things were there while he was chanting. He was chanting the name of one who is root. Because he had clarity about the root. The one force that makes us to say I am, the beingness, the amness. I, you did it, because I, we have got the image that will come before us. You, in the I am, up to I am, yes, we have progressed. From there the I has to be removed, then the amness, the beingness. What is that? So we have to train our mind to go inward. That is why he is strongly advocating about this mental repetition. Because vocal repetition, again it is going out. In mental repetition, especially when we have to hear our own chanting, the tendency of the mind to go out will be gradually reduced. And if we are fortunate enough by his grace, one moment we may get. With the gap between the one mantra and another mantra, one chanting, the another chanting, we will get a peep into it. If you are blessed with that, that will slowly hasten our journey further.
The body and mind are different. So we take help of mind. So we take help of the mind.
With the help of the mind?
Do what? So we need to take help of the mind. She's saying since body and mind are different, we need to take help of the mind to go with it.
Only with the help of the mind you can go with it.
That too we have to hasten slowly.
That too we have
That
to
is the book,
hasten. He says that too we have to hasten slowly according to Satsang.
Yeah. Very difficult because we have not trained our mind, Even under the banner of spiritual discipline, what are we doing? Learning, reading, memorizing, all these things we are doing, that's all. All outward, Whereas Papa is showing us to go inward. God is at the root of this universal existence. When we work for the material comforts of our life, forgetting Him entirely, we miss that peace and joy which we would get if our life is attuned to the eternal. We should realize that whatever we do is by the power which God has given to us. We forget this and think that as individuals we are doing everything ourselves. This is the reason why our soul is always restless and has no peace. Peace can come only when we know that the universal spirit is the basis of the manifestation we see before us. Universal spirit. The individual alone is not the whole thing. The universal has also to be taken into consideration. As we attune our life to the universal life, we know the true meaning of life. Through this knowledge, we can ourselves find peace and impart peace to others. When you know the root of your existence is in God, whatever you feel, whatever you think must be the base of that existence, whose nature is pure love and bliss. So we say that this cosmic manifestation is nothing but the moving, blissful expression of God, the basis of which is the still, calm, peaceful spirit of God, that is also bliss. God is the very source of our life. We have come from Him and we are going back to Him. We have not come into existence without having a cause behind our life. And that supreme cause is God, the source of our being and the root of our existence. He is the immortal spirit, pervading everywhere, dwelling always in the heart of every one of us. He is eternal, infinite. His nature is pure love, joy and peace. By His power and will, the whole world is moving. The universe itself is God, there is nothing but God, everything in and out is God. We do not know it and therefore we are unhappy. We see differences and have likes and dislikes, so our mind is alternately happy and miserable. If you see God everywhere, feel His presence and know everything you see, you will be the happiest being on the earth. Again today Papa is taking a PhD class, but this is to be kept somewhere in our mind, no? Our mind may not be now fit enough to undertake the inward journey to realize this route at the moment. But we will keep it as one of our thoughts that will help us for our inward journey. Start thinking about it, right from the head till to the toe. What is that power that makes me feel I am? What is that? Probably we might be blessed with the answer when we go steadfastly on those things. Every now and then the mind may play a trick to go out. So there our help and prop and support will be our Nama. जीवन का अवलंबन है, नो? हाँ, सपोर्ट. ये जगदादा विश्वविधाता सुख शांति निकेतन है. प्राण सखा, त्रिभुवन परिपालक. Then he say Pranasaka, he is with us like our closest friend. So there he says Jeevan ka avalamban hai. So and we have forgotten. That's what he says. We have forgotten that.
Have we forgotten or has God made us to forget?
That is the ultimate, but at the moment as a sadhaka, we remember so many things, but this we are not remembering. So how to remember Him? We ask, only through this question we can go to Him. Correct. Ultimately everything happens, but that is only a theory, at the moment. For us, rest of the things are very normal. If you pinch, you get the pain. That is directly experienced. The other one is something, that He is behind it. It is still a thought in our mind. So we are now trying with whatever is available He has provided, try to understand the power behind it. Now when I pinch, what is it that says I am paining? When I look, when I am seeing, what is it that makes me to feel that I am looking, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, feeling, then thinking. The power behind. Papa is directing our attention. God is the root. When we work for the material comforts of our life, forgetting Him entirely, we miss that peace and joy. We should realize that whatever we do is by the power of God. We forget this and think that as individuals we are doing everything. So this is the food for thought He has given today. When the source is known and seen, we understand the true meaning of life. Bereft of this knowledge, mankind is caught in the wilderness of discontent, hate and misery. The realization of the immortal peace and freedom is at once individual. So the first line again, the path to the source of your and the world's being is not outside. You have to go within yourself. So we now pray to Papa, you have given us wonderful ideas, but also enable us to do that, please. Intellectually we 100% There is no doubt about it. Because the I amness is there right from my head. Suppose when something I scratch here, that means what? From here and to the tip of my toes. But I have not applied my mind as to what exactly it is. I may be doing a lot of spiritual discipline, chanting, bhajan, satsang, reading, swadhyay. But I have never applied my mind on this fundamental thing, the power behind this. So you have made us aware intellectually that it is the power. Because when somebody dies, that power is not there in that body. So that at the moment it is there in all of us. What is that power, that root? It cannot be understood by the normal means of efforts. So there should be something different from the normal efforts. Why don't you please enable us to do that and make us aware of that power presiding over the entire activities of the body, mind, intellect. Let this prayer be intense, and we pray to Him to guide us from within. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om. Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, Hari Om. Pranam. Namaskaram, Swamiji. Namaskar. Hari Om. Pranam. தெரியாம இருக்கு. அப்படிதான் இருக்கும். Because mind wants to understand, this is beyond the purview of the mind. So we have understood, we have not understood. That is okay. With that we will try. When Papa says it is inconceivable, anirvachyam, it cannot be explained, inexplicable. So naturally the mind cannot. At the same time the mind feels it is understood. So this will be there in our mind. I have understood, but I have not really understood. I have understood something, but I have not really understood the original thing. Because the mind cannot enter that realm. Mind can take us only up to some boundary and leave it there. Mental chanting enables us to do this practice. And leave the mind there, and then whatever it is, we will not be able to come and express. Hari Om. Hari Om.